Everyone wants you to shut up.
And yet I won't. Case in point.
And welcome back to season 2 of your favorite short form commentary, where we talk about everything and anything under the sun. Had a small break in January, but hopefully in February we're able to kind of push out these videos a little bit more consistently. And again, if you're liking the content, please like and subscribe, and we're gonna continue on and just keep on trucking, man. With Carlos Alcaraz's win in the Australian Open, it kind of brought me to this idea to create kind of a video essay script regarding treat everything like tennis, or treat life like tennis. And there's a lot of interpretations to that, and mainly I believe the best interpretation is going through a book that I read a couple of years ago, The Inner Game of Tennis. Now, The Inner Game of Tennis is a book that's technically about tennis and technically not about tennis. What it is that what happens when you try to stop controlling everything and just start paying attention instead. And once you see that, it becomes hard to ignore how often life works the same way. So the book kind of talks about two selves. One self is the voice. It narrates, it judges, it corrects in real time. And we have self 2, which is the body, the part that's learning through repetition, the part that already knows how to move, kind of the engine per se. And self 1 is the steering wheel, kind of moving the car. Most of our problems that the book kind of highlights is that most of our problem comes from self 1 not trusting self 2. Basically, your mind, your thoughts, your actions, not trusting your own ability physically and psychologically be able to do.
Who am I? I don't know.
And in tennis, it ruins a swing. And in life, it ruins that moment. Now, when we're working hard on tasks or we want to work hard on goals, we're taught that effort is the main engine and is the main drive. It's the gasoline to kind of keep putting yourself through it. And we're taught that improvement comes from that effort. You know, try harder, focus more, fix what's wrong. There's this XYZ 1A, 1B that has to adjust in order to get the correct motion. But in tennis, what the book talks about is that once you start thinking about all these things, the action that you actually produce is a lot worse than what you're thinking. And judgment interferes with that performance. Now, the more you correct yourself in that mid-action, thinking about, okay, I should hold the racket harder, I should swing more. In basketball terms, you tuck in your elbow more, follow through, think about all these things. But then you start correcting yourself, causing it to look less natural through the action. Like the action looks artificial, it looks wobbly, it looks too motion, it doesn't look right. And that applies beyond sports. Now, instead of critiquing yourself through actions and thinking you're wrong and you're terrible and whatever XYZ, because it's easy. That's easy, right? It's easy to critique yourself. And main takeaway as well is not to critique yourself through an assessment of this is the best steps to do and you're not doing it. You want to be more aware. And Galway doesn't ask his players to analyze their mistakes. He asks them to just notice them. So where the ball landed, how the racket felt, what happened, without commentary, without thinking that I did this too much, this too less. And when his players started to kind of analyze their mistakes without pure critique and just being aware of what happened, the body adjusts on its own. No pressure, no shame, no internal monologue, just awareness. Now just imagine living like that. Just no labeling failures, no narrating your shortcomings, just noticing what works and what doesn't work.
Boring.
Is the one thing with tennis. Tennis isn't about a game where you're playing the other person. You're playing against yourself and the mistakes that you're making and what you need to do to score a point. It's never based on what the other individual is doing. It's based on you. It's a single game, literally. It's not about winning every shot. It's just what happens about the next point, right? Misses happens, faults happen, bad days happen. You don't stop the match and go into a spiral because you didn't do X, Y, and Z. You reset, you serve again, and you keep going. Life feels a lot heavier when we treat every mistake as if it's permanent. And tennis teaches us something where we need to just be quiet in that moment. Nothing is final. And I think that's where we kind of lie into that. The real discipline is in how much effort you're putting, if you're consistently showing up, if you're just pushing and pushing to the next step. The real discipline is self-trust. It's trusting yourself to prove that action in that moment. The discipline isn't grinding harder. It's not it's the restraint of the ability not to spiral or go down the rabbit hole, not correcting every move, not overthinking every decision, not interfering with the process. Galway's idea is very simple. Let self 1 take a step back and self 2 to move forward, to just do, to just fly, to just score, to just do what you need to do to achieve that goal or to win the game or to score a basket. Progress just happens more when you stop forcing the equation. And that's really hard for us, especially for people that love control.
It doesn't make any sense.
Because we don't have as much of control in our lives, and controlling everything kind of keeps us sane. We equate self-criticism with growth. We're hard on ourselves because we want to get better, and this is how we grow. And that's how we can move on to why this feels rare now. Everything today demands a reaction. Feedbacks, metrics, performance, or you're being critiqued every single time. There's just no space to just be present doing something. And that's what tennis is, as I said previously. It doesn't care about your identity. It only responds in what you do in that moment, and so does life. It only does the stuff that it does, and you can't control it. It just moves on. And that's the one thing as well, that we can just let things be imperfect, let things be what it is. You don't need to play beautifully every day to play honest. Some days nothing clicks at all, but that doesn't mean you're regressing. That doesn't mean you're showing weakness. It means that you're just human and that you're just going through the motions as everyone else is. And treating life like tennis means accepting those inconsistencies without panicking and thinking something's going wrong and we're spiraling downhill. It's not that at all. Tennis is that single sport. If you treated everything like tennis, you wouldn't demand perfection. You wouldn't over-narrate your mistakes. You wouldn't confuse awareness with criticism. You just focus on the next point. Let learning just happen. And not everything needs to be forced. Not everything needs commentary. Sometimes the most effective thing you can do is step back and just play the game. Anywho, again, please like and subscribe. We're gonna keep this party rolling for season 2. We'll be back next time for something we're gonna be talking about. See ya.
Batman is sorta gay. Be right back.